Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today we're going to work on our Bumblebee junk journal, and I'm probably going to stitch in some signatures. I was thinking about doing that 5-hole crisscross pamphlet stitch. Nobody has time for that. Like, I would have had to have watched a video, figured out how to do it, recreate it, and then show you guys. I can, but I spent all day cutting up paper and getting my signatures ready for this project. So I just want to show you guys like what I've got going on as far as signatures are concerned. These are my signatures. I'm going with 5 signatures in this journal, and I went ahead and marked the spines of the signatures, indicating where I'm going to place my holes for the pamphlet stitch. I'm just going to do a standard 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Why not, right? Because that's what we know how to do. I would have loved to have taught you guys a new method, but maybe in a smaller project, something that I'm not probably, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Something smaller, I'll try. Here you see my needle, and I went ahead and cut a piece of cardstock or chipboard or what is this, like I don't know, like a backing to a notepad, and I wrapped it with my pretty fabric that I also stamped and made some other cute things with. Let me just show you. So I used that fabric that I stamped and made some beginning stages of belly bands. So these will be some belly bands that'll go into the project. Here is a horizontal, for a vertical belly band. These two will go horizontally in the journal. So yeah, I just wrapped cardstock around the fabric around the cardstock, and we're going to use it that way. So I made myself here 5 holes with my crocodile. I used the 1/8 inch hole punch on the crocodile tube, which is the big chomper, and made sure that my needle fits through the whole thing, right, without any hindrance. So yep, my needle goes all the way through, no problem. So what I did was I marked the spine of the signatures, and yes, there are some wacky-do markings here, so I'm gonna have to line it up one more time just to make sure they are all, like, what is this, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so this is what the signatures look like. I'll show you the pages that are in here. Some of it is like homemade paper. Like, I went ahead and copied things like cardstock that had a pretty design on it. I made some of my own with some die cuts. Like this one, for example. Yeah, this is just a die cut and some washi stickers that I placed along the bottom here and ran it through my copier. This was all fabric, by the way. Like, this was a fabric, this is fabric. Here's another die cut on paper. This is fabric. Again, this is the inner section of the junk journals, front and back covers. This was fabric. This is paper. Yep, this one's paper. Fabric, another piece of cardstock paper, and yeah, so each junk journal, each signature, I mean, has a similar stack of pages in here. There's still plenty of journaling space, you know, but it's all pretty paper, so you can definitely still write on this and have a really nice backdrop to your writing in the journal. Something like this might need a sheet to go over it, but you can, again, you can still write on this. I did some duo here. This is cardstock paper that looks like a ledger, along with some fabric, and made that paper. So anyway, these are my signature covers. These are all variations of cardstock and or paper, which should I open this? Yeah, I'll just show you what I got. So I did some deco collaging on the inside here. I just cut up a bunch of the paper that I made and made my own inner cover to these plain single-sided sheets of paper. And I just realized that one was upside down, so let's see. yeah, they're all right side up, good. But I think the marking on here may be upside down. Let's just see. Oh, I'm gonna turn it back this way. Yeah, I think this single one was upside down, so that means my marks on the spine are incorrect on this one. You always got to double check, guys, like and that's probably how I ended up with 2 marks on this one. So now I'm paranoid and want to check all of them, so to make sure that they're all right side up, because the last thing you want to do is stitch in your signatures upside down. So yeah, it looks like all of this is right side up. This would be my, this is my second. And here's my third. See, that's upside down. That's upside down. So yeah, I'm gonna have to remark, and that's probably how I ended up again with 2 marks on that one. Let's see, right side up. Oh, look at this. What a crazy world we live in right here in this signature. So, all right, so I'm going to have to do some fixing, some double checking, making sure that all of my pages are the direction that I want them to be facing. And yeah, this is where the tedious parts of making a junk journal come in. You just want to make sure that everything is facing the right direction. So I think somewhere around here, this should be facing this way, and this one should be facing this way, and then that. Each signature has 12 pages in it, and by 12 pages I mean you know, like 12 full sheets of paper. So you multiply that by 4, because you'll have 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides to write on, right? So 12 fours are 48, and that's how many pages are in each signature. So now that I've fixed that, I'm gonna have to line everything back up nice and even, and then we will punch some holes in this signatures and get them into the junk journal. So what I've done for the junk journal, instead of doing a exposed spine, I'm actually doing a hidden spine, because, you know, I prefer to do a hidden spine just for the simple fact that here is my junk journal. Okay, I really didn't want the thread showing through here. It's such a pretty fabric, and I can put a book plate on the outside here. I can still decorate this as well. This is what the front cover looks like. Here's the inside, again, fabric, right? I just photocopied it. And these are the tucks that we made a few days ago. So yeah, this is where we are. Here's my ties. Yeah, all right, so yeah, my hidden spine, which is just cardstock, or, you know, a couple of, it's a little thick, so it's a couple of these little backings to a notepad doubled up onto, you know, the fabrics wrapped around it. I know you guys have seen me do this several times. So, and this is where it will live with no hindrance to the opening and closing of the book. And yeah, let's just do that. All right, so I gotta remark my lines, because I didn't I did see that a couple of my signatures were upside down. Let me just double check this one while I'm at it. So guys, yeah, I mean, this is just the beginning stages of the Bumblebee junk journal, and yeah, I just want to show you guys what I'm doing for this. All right, so here's the one that I wasn't sure of. I did check the pages in here, made sure that they're all facing the right direction. I will double and triple check that to make sure. Again, plenty of writing space. I did leave quite a number of pages, you know, white or, you know, usable for writing. And because I know this is my third signature, I will line this up with the third holes on the spine and just put a little mark right on the edge of the spine of the signature. Now I'm going to have 3 marks on here. So I'm going to bring this one a little bit forward just so I know that that's the one that we're using, right? That one. So, okay. Now I have 3 dots on here. So, yeah. Anyway, it's always good to double check, triple check, you know, because you just never know. So with all these pages, you can easily get turned around. And yeah, so this is my second signature. I lined it up with the second holes. So yeah, this one must have been upside down as well. Okay, it happens. Moving on to the first signature. Just making sure that these are all lined up. Perfect. All right, so to achieve our holes in the signature itself, this is what I've done. I went ahead and just centrally aligned it up equidistant from the top and the bottom and clipped it in with my oversized paper clips. And this is what's going to hold it in place until we get our holes punched through. And for this, I'm going to use my awl because I don't trust the crocodile. I don't trust the crocodile on such a thick, and you know, it's pretty important that we get this perfect. For me, it is anyway. So here's my little foamy punch. This thing, I use this as a punch. I'm gonna lay this flat on here, making sure that the spine is even, and I'm gonna grab my awl, which is this guy. Don't mind the tape. And I'm just gonna pop a couple of holes right in here. There's 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's our holes on the inside of the journal signature, and that's what I'm going to do for all of them. And then I'll be right back once I've gotten all the holes punched through, and then we can stitch it into the hidden spine. And then simply all you got to do after that is just glue this into the actual spine of the journal. I'll be back in 2 ticks with all of these punched. Alright, so all of my signatures have been punched with the awl, this guy, right? This is an awl, A-W-L. Anyway, so you can either use this, or you can use your crocodile, or you can use a standard hole punch, you know, one of those crunchy things, if you like. I like using the crocodile. Occasionally, when I have really thick signatures, I will use the awl to make sure that my holes in each signature is lined up appropriately. I'm just going to tie this one off and put a bow. So I put a lock knot, which is right over left, and then left over right. It just makes it a little bit more difficult with the bum finger, but there's that. And then I put a little bow in here just for now until I decide whether or not I'm going to do some jewelry or some beads or something hanging from the bottom there. So that I stitched directly into the hidden spine, and I'm going to go on to the next one, which is my 4th signature. This was my 5th signature. You usually start with the back of the book and work your way forward. I don't know why, that's just how I was taught to do it, but it does make it a little bit easier to see what you're doing if you're not covering up these holes, right? So I just work with the back moving forward. So in through the middle, if you want your knot to be on the inside, right? And then up through the top, back side, right there. Then come all the way down to the bottom of the signature, go through the bottom here, and then come back through the middle. And then your knot will be on the inside of your signature. If you want to do it the other way, where the knot is on the outside, you start on the outside and you'll end on the outside. But we started on the inside, and so we'll end on the inside here. And what you want to make sure that you do is get one string on this side of that bridge, and then another string on the opposite side of the bridge. So you don't want to tie them both up on one side. You want to make sure that this is in the middle. And then you straighten everything out, just making sure that your thread, and I'm using waxed embroidery thread or waxed thread. You can get this on Amazon. I don't know if I have a link for it in my description box, but I can look for one and put it in there for you guys if you need it. So yeah, I'm just making sure that everything is nice and even, and that's the other good thing about doing a hidden spine. Normally, you'd have to make sure that everything is nice and even on the spine and it's visible. This right here lends for errors if you're not really sure on how to do this process. Doing it on this kind of like frees you up from doing it too perfect, or getting it right on the money on the first try, right? So you have a little bit of room for mistakes if need be. So again, right over left to do a lock knot, and then left over right, and that's a lock knot. And then I tie a little bow right here. So again, all of my signatures are 12 pages thick. Some of it is like cardstock thick, some of it is just paperweight thick. And then yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted to have a little bit more precision by using the awl. If it's all paperweight, then you can definitely use the crocodile and get away with it, but this is these are pretty thick signatures. So I can release all of these paper clips from the ones that we're done with, and we'll move on to the third signature. So let's talk about the thread itself, right? So in order to measure how much thread you're going to need, if you want to cut it away from the spool that it's on, and let me find my spool. This is the spool that I'm using. I think I picked up like 6 in a pack for like 15 bucks on Amazon. So it's about $2 a pack or $3 a pack. This is how you measure how much thread you're going to need for each signature. You measure it based on the height of the signature. So it's 3 times the height is what I do in order to get this nice little bow here in the middle with plenty of thread left over. So I do 1, 2, 3, okay, and a little bit extra. All right, and that's so that, you know, anything can happen and you don't want anything to happen. So yeah, I just do 3 times the height of the actual signature itself, and going through the middle, come out through the back side, going through the middle of the spine. This one's a little hard. There we go. Go through the top and come back in through the middle inside of the journal. And go all the way down to the bottom. And what I tend to do with my inside thread that's left over here, I just tuck it underneath one of my paper clips so that I don't pull it all the way through, because I've done that before. These are just little tips and tricks so that you guys don't make the same mistakes I've made. And you always want to keep checking back here to make sure that you are doing the right hole in a row. Okay? And come on through. And then through the center again, and then come through the inside of the signature. What you want to make sure that you don't do as well is thread your thread with your needle. So that's why we use these little darning needles. They're not pointy at all. This way you don't accidentally thread the thread that's already on the inside of the journal. That has happened as well. So yeah, just little things to keep in mind when you're working on your junk journals. I've done so many of these so that you can learn from my mistakes and not repeat my errors. Just like I triple check the orientation of all of my pages to make sure that they're all facing the right direction, the direction I want them to be facing. And yeah, again, you want to make sure that one thread's on one side of that little bridge and the other one is on the opposite. Lock knot and a bow and remove. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch in these last two signatures right here. I got 2 more holes left for these 2 guys right here. And yeah, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so all of my signatures are stitched in. This is my hidden spine, what it looks like on the inside. It will go on the inside of the cover of the journal. So all it needs to do now is just glue this down. It'll pop right in here, just like so. Making sure that both sides of the cover is not hindered by that spine at all. That's what you'll see from the top and at the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to use some Fabrifix glue because that is a nice sturdy glue that'll hold everything together. Fabrifix, Fabri-Tac. I think next week what I'll do is I'll do a little glue video. Basically, I use all kinds of glue on this channel, as you know. I've actually discovered a new glue made by Beacon. So yeah, we will we'll talk about that. So I'm just going to hope and pray my Fabrifix is ready to go. Beacon glue makes Fabrifix, Fabri-Tac, several others. So I found a new glue made by Beacon, so I'll show you guys what that looks like maybe next week. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to squeeze out as much of this as I can get out, and if it doesn't want to come out tonight I will do this off camera and show you guys what it looks like. It seems to be having a hard time. What I usually do in a case like this, I open it up, let some air get in there so that it makes it easier for it to come out. I also heat the bottle, like I just set this in a boiling pot of water, you know, cut the fire off and just let the glue solidify a little bit. But right now it's very thick. Could be the weather, it could be the air conditioning in my room that's got this so solid. Did I say solidify? I meant liquefy, because right now it is solidified and it does not want to come out. So you get the idea. I'm just going to simply add some glue on the spine here, pop this down in the middle of the journal, making sure that I have equidistance top and bottom so that everything is nice and even. And yeah, then it's just time to decorate, which is the fun part. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. I think you guys get the gist. Don't forget to check out my links down below. Alright guys, hit the bell for notification after you've subscribed to the channel. Give this video a big fat thumbs up if you love the content here, and I'll continue to bring you more tutorials just like this one. But come back next week and we will decorate this journal. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, my finger is almost healed, so my you don't really need to know, but if you want to see it, I can show that to you also. Leave me a comment down below if you guys don't mind seeing what's left of the healing process of my finger, because I am running out of bandages and I'm kind of tired of wearing this thing. So guys, I'm gonna leave you here. Have a super crafty day and stay naturally curious. All right, bye.